S Lighty on the mic. Got a story for you of two lighties who collided, making dreams come true. Now we're creating a new journey, and we want to bring you, cause it ain't all about us, it's all about you too. We'll be repping while we step in lifestyle, culture and bants. And for this road, trust me, we had to put on big girl pants. So tune in and show love so we can love you right back. Hope you already got that loving in this fleeky intro track. When madness steals you away, we're gonna bring you right back. Now here's two lighties coming through. Get your popcorn, cause we've got you. Two lighties in the house.
Hey!
Woo woo.
Was you not feeling that flow?
I think we need to get our flow on. We didn't flow, we kind of like bounced in and it was a big splash.
Two lights in the house, you what?
Ooh, go Pagey Jeremy.
Page on the mic, you what? Page
Ooh,
on the mic.
Pagey DJ.
Oh, is that a new nickname for me?
It might be.
Oh, well, that's relevant considering the topic of discussion today.
What, DJ Page?
I'm not gonna MC for you. I know that's what you're pushing for. Maybe next time.
I mean, can next time be today?
No,
Why?
because after this you're gonna feed me.
I might not feed you if you don't MC.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well, MC innit?
No.
Why?
Hey, you're the MC, remember?
Oh, it should be your turn.
You spit a few rhymes.
So today's topic that we're going to talk about is...
What's my name?
What's my name? Well, I was going to start off with names that you were called when you were young.
Okay.
Even though I hate them because I had terrible ones. But yeah, you can kick off because, mine are bad. And I'll just say them quickly at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I had quite decent ones. I mean, the biggest one that I was called in school was New Sister because my brother was in the school, like dominant within the school, and I had a sister. Yeah, so I was just New Sister, and I was like, "Hi, yes, that's me."
Wow.
Panu.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
Panunu. The biggest one which I had, which was created by my dad, is Pages.
Yeah, I think I've called you that before.
I still get called that now.
Yeah.
Anytime he used to ring me or like say my name, he used to be like, Pages! And that just used to remind me of like toast crunching, like the...
What? Oh,
no, that's what it reminds me of, like
not
toast crunching. No, Pages. I can just envision like toast crunching, breaking, tearing, whatever the right word is.
Tearing toast.
Yeah, what do you think when you're like...
I mean, you just thrown me totally with the toast.
I know.
I was, toast you would... Yeah, I guess you would break it if you break your toast.
Yeah, you break bread, don't
normally
you?
Just bite it. Oh, okay, bread.
You don't buy toast.
You break bread in church.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with breaking toast right now. But anyway, yeah, they were my main ones, but Pages is a strong one.
See, I was thinking that us could be the end of genius, you know, when you have that description. I was like, yeah, I like that better. Yeah. That's much better than toast.
Yeah, at the time, I just love it. Like, even now, like, when he says it, I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, so cute.
Get giddy. Wow. Yeah, but childhood ones, they were the main ones. Like now I get called peckish. That's from my food blogging days when I was Peckish Page.
Okay.
So yeah, my partner will call me that a lot, peckish.
Is that when he's hungry?
He's probably dropping hints.
That's what that sounded like to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Peckish, he's just like, no, I want some food.
I'm glad you enlightened me to that. Okay, never took the hint so far.
Wow.
I've always got it on lock with the good food anyway, so don't need the hint.
I think I might jump on board, so when I'm hungry, I'll just say it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try it.
Will it work? Like, does food just arrive when I say that?
You'll have to see in it.
Just remember who's cooking for you later, innit?
I mean, if you're going to sell them the dream and say that you're going to make curry goat again and then not.
Oh, that was unnecessary.
You can move on to your nicknames.
She's like bringing the fight to the camera, and yeah, it was unnecessary. Wow, that was for the boxing ring. That one definitely, yeah.
Well,
wrestling even. That's how bad it was.
Well, we're sporty in it today, so
I guess so.
Just getting in that competitive vibe.
Right, I see. Onwards and upwards, hopefully.
Third in the league now.
I mean, I don't follow football, so I'm a basketball girl, so yeah. But woohoo!
Yeah, thanks
That's
for the
good.
support. You should support. If you're going to support anyone, it's Man United, yeah?
Okay, I'll just support you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, my nicknames growing up, I remember some from when I was little. I don't know why, so don't ask. But I was called Dumpling. So I told you they weren't good ones.
Was that an endearing one, or?
I don't know what it was. It was just a dumpling. Oh. So, like I said, don't ask because I ain't got no explanation. Okay. But yeah, and Carrot was another one. So, you know, if I wanted to look at it in a positive way, I could say I was a carrot diamond. But I don't think it was that.
We'll go with that one for now.
Yeah, we'll just go with that to make me feel good.
Yeah.
And then when I was a teenager, my dad always used to call me Body Girl, and that was, now this is what I think that related to. So when I was speaking up for myself, maybe being a bit assertive, and he would say, I'm sure you've heard the saying, you're too big for your boots. Mm-hmm. He would call me Body Girl, like, I guess as in, you know, you think you've got body now kind of thing. So it was a bit like that. So he'd be like, listen here now, Body Girl. And then I always knew I was in trouble when he said that. So yeah, so that was where that one came from.
So you've always spoken your mind?
Yeah, always. And so that was that one. And then school, Little Red. That was one that I was called Sarah Divine.
Oh, that's cute.
I used to get called that. That was one of my cute names that I used to get called.
Oh yeah, hold on to that one.
Obviously Lighty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another one I was called, one of my friends named me this, Titus. And I was named that because I wouldn't lend him my CD.
So you was being tight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that name stuck like forever. So yeah. Because, you know, people you'd lend CDs and then they wouldn't bring it back. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to lend you my CD. Are you going to bring it back? And he was like, wow. And then he named me Titus. And I did lend him the CD in the end, but the name still stuck. So that was another one I remember.
Okay.
So yeah.
I do enjoy a nickname though.
As long as they're nice ones, not like Dumpling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that me and my partner did with our daughter. We was like, nickname. And now it's just like primarily her name.
Yeah. So on this topic, I was thinking of something else which comes up in conversation quite a bit and I speak to people about. And here's another thing. First of all, having lots of names. So I've got 4 names. I'm not going to say what they all are, but I don't know if this is a Jamaican thing, because first of all, Jamaicans seem to have a lot of names, and then they're never called by their actual name. Like my brothers even, I got told like they were called certain names, and then when I met them they were calling themselves another name, or someone was referring to them and I'm like, who's that? And they're like, oh, your brother. And I'm like, but isn't his name like Winston? And it's like, no, his name's Claude. And I'm like, but why is his name Claude? I thought his name was Winston. And then it was like, and then one of my other brothers, Danny, I'd always known him as, and then he was being called Errol. So it was very confusing, and it's a Jamaican thing. And then I think, have we spoken about this before, where Jamaicans, I think it's been mentioned, where Jamaicans call you by how you look. So I think we did mention it on that video when I was being called Whitey.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got one tooth, they're going to call you one tooth. If you've got a big head, they're going to call you big head. Like, they're so literal, as in, oh, right, okay, she's got like 6 fingers. Her name's 6 fingers. You've got 3 names?
3 names, yeah.
Okay. So
which is probably quite standard.
Yeah, because you normally have a middle name. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't know, maybe the Jamaicans just being extra in it, doing their...
Yeah, maybe.
doing
I
their
found it surprising when you said you'd been named something but then could be called something totally different.
Yeah, it's just quite strange, and I don't know why, because they are names, but they're sort of like nickname names, and then, yeah, they're just like random. Or maybe it is a Jamaican thing then. But yeah, so there's that. And then one of the other topics that I talk to people about quite a lot, which I think is really interesting, is when, and I think this is more back in the day, I don't think it happens as much now, but I do think it is still kind of here partially in maybe my generation. But it was where their parent would remarry and their dad wasn't in the picture, and they would be given the man that the mum married, they would be given that name. And I wanted to talk about, what do you think about that? Because some of the conversations I had, it's quite deep, because, you know, I guess if you were very close to that man and your dad was totally out of the picture and you were happy to take on that man's name and saw him as a dad, then that's fine. But if you're not given that choice and that name's just given to you and then you grow with it, now when it comes to you passing on your family name, or what should be your family name and your bloodline, you've now got someone else's name randomly. And you can't just go, oh no, actually I want to pass on my real dad's blood name, because you're not named that anymore. It's kind of that option and choice has kind of been taken from you. So what do you think about that?
It's interesting because my mum remarried and my dad was very much present in our lives.
Okay.
It wasn't even a discussion for us to take my stepdad's name. And I'm very grateful for that. Like, got the utmost respect for my stepdad. But I have got such a strong link and identity with my surname. Like, it is a massive part of my makeup.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful that, you know, it wasn't even up for discussion. And I assume, never really spoke to my mum about this, but I assume like she didn't want to cause any disruption or, I don't know, maybe confusion.
Yeah.
But I think, as you were saying, if I would have taken my stepdad's name, I think in later life I would have felt some kind of way about that.
Yeah.
Because my surname very much represents who I am, my heritage. And again, it even filters now into like passion projects that I may launch. Like, I always like to integrate it, or even like a business that we've got, like it's part of that as well. And I just can't imagine being called anything different.
Yeah, you've used it quite a lot, haven't you? You love your surname.
Yeah, as I like to say, I like to flex it.
Ooh,
yeah.
You like flexing, don't you?
I like to flex as often as I can, yeah. Even from young, I've always been quite adamant that I wouldn't change my name when marrying.
Really?
Yeah, I've always been
that's
really
interesting.
adamant on that. With our daughter, she's got a double barrel name. She's got both my name and my partner's name.
Yeah.
And they're both very strong names that very much like represent our heritage as well, which is really nice. But yeah, no, like I've always just been quite adamant with that. Like, even if I took his name, I wouldn't drop mine.
It's interesting because this is another conversation now, but it's like, it is interesting because I've had this conversation in a relationship before. Now, if I like my surname as well, but if I was to do a double barrel, I'd then have 5 names. Like, come on now, we're going to be running out of space on the paper. You have to write this down. It would be really, really long, because it's already really, really long, and I just try and always cut out the other 2. But when it's like official stuff, and people are like, oh, why does your name say that? And it's like, yeah, it's very, very long to have a double barrel. And I remember speaking to a partner who had said, you just have to take my name and that's it. Like, there's no discussion. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, when it comes to that time, there might be a discussion then, sort of thing. And but yeah, it was quite interesting, where I think some men are just like, no, why do you want to keep your name? Like, take my name, that's it. And you know, it might not be an option. So you might say take it or leave it.
Wow. How do you feel about it though? Like,
I'm quite traditional, so you are supposed to take the man's name.
According to who?
Well, it's just tradition and that, so I don't mind, because if I was to make it a double barrel, then I would have a really, really long name, unless I just change my name and take out all my middle names, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I'd mind, as long as he hasn't got like a really weird name, then I might just be like, nah.
Maybe that's my stubbornness, I don't know. No, it's not my stubbornness, I've just got like I'm not saying anyone doesn't have a strong link with the name, but for me, I don't know, from young I've always just been like, nah, I'm keeping my name, and thankfully, like, yeah, my husband's like, just like really
it's interesting. I wonder what people think about that, because it is an interesting one. I mean, I just, like I said, I don't really mind. You know, I do believe you're marrying into your husband's family, aren't you? So it's like you're supposed to take their name. So yeah.
Is he not marrying into ours?
Well, yeah, I do think it is both ways, but traditionally, you know, you take him on his name. Anyway, let's not have a fight about it. I think we've done enough fighting today.
Yeah. Let's get out the ring.
So yeah, so there's that, and then I think it's quite bad. I mean, you said, you know, as a girl, you know, wanted to keep your name and stuff, but imagine if you're a man and you then take on that name, or are forced to take on that name through a remarriage, you're going to pass that name on to your wife, and that's not even your name, or you're going to pass it on to your child and it's not even your name, so it's not your bloodline. And I've had conversations with people about this where they're like, I've got this name, but it's not my father's name, but I'm named it and I've just kind of gone with it because it's my name. It's like, oh, what do you do? And then they've given that name to their child, and then I think later on they've just felt like, I have an issue with this now, but it's a bit late, kind of thing. And then it's like, what do? Do you then have to go and change your name by default or something? But, you know, should your parent be making that decision for you? Because I don't think your parents should be making that decision for you. I mean, there's different scenarios, and I get it if the father was never in the picture, or he said, I don't want anything to do with this child or something, then I get it if you're going to marry another man. But I still think, I don't know, I'm very strict in my ways on children should have their choices, and if they can't make that choice at the time, they might want to make it later in life. So I don't know, but it's a hard one if you then marry someone.
I'm glad you said it depends. Like, I do think circumstance like really matters in this situation, because
there's different scenarios, isn't there? Because
I think a lot of the time, like, the parents won't be acting in an unthoughtful way, and they actually probably feel that that is the right decision. If it's going to be the mum and dad, or the mum and stepdad, however we want to label it, and them feeling part of that unit and feeling like they are part of the family. I do think in some cases then, you know, all the parent can do is make a decision which feels like it's right at the time, but I definitely think it should be something that's discussed when the child comes of an age to really understand and be able to make a decision, because, you know, nothing's permanent, and if the child is too young to actually like have a say or make a fully logical, non-emotional decision, then you know, the parent does have to have like the main say in that.
Yeah, and there's other things as well I was just thinking of, because I know that sometimes there's issues when you travel. I know, like, my friends had that because she wasn't married. When she travelled with her kids, because they had a different name to her, they pulled her to the side and were asking her loads of questions. She's like, I'm pregnant with his other child, like, what do you want me? We're not married, and that's just what it is. But I know it can cause issues like that sometimes. But I don't know, if I think about if I was in that scenario, you know, if my real father was in the picture, I wouldn't want my name to be changed. That's just how I feel. You know, that is my name, it's my bloodline, it's where I'm from, it's my heritage. You know, if your mum chooses to move on, I don't know, just giving you someone else's name, it'll be based on different scenarios.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know what people think on it, because like I said, I've spoken to a few people and they're kind of like,
I've just got this name that's not mine, and they've later in life now, they've just gone with it. But then, you know, they get older and they're just kind of like, no, I don't feel this is right now, but just had it for so long, it's just like, oh, I'll stick to it, sort of thing.
I can imagine that is quite wild, especially as a man as well.
Yeah.
If you was just given the name and you was a bit like, all right, okay, and maybe at the time when you are young it doesn't seem as much of a thing, but then when you develop into your own person, you're starting a family, you're getting married and all those things come, I can imagine it is a bit like, whoa.
Yeah, because you're now giving your name to a woman and to your child, and if that's not your name,
damn.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. I'd like to hear like people's views on this, because, you know, like we said, there are many scenarios, and it'd be good to hear from people who have been in that scenario. Maybe people who have said no, like they wouldn't want to have someone else's name, and there might be people who are like, no, it's cool, you know, my dad wasn't around, this guy was here for me, I want his name, he's the only dad, sort of thing. So yeah, interesting.
And let us hear from the ladies as well, like if you are like me and you just love your love your given name. What's it called when you have like a maiden name?
Your maiden name.
Name, birth given name, maiden name. If you're in love with your maiden name and you wouldn't really want to lose that, or you haven't lost that when you've got married, then let us know, because I know I can't be the only one.
Yeah, and have you ever met a guy who said, take my name or take the highway? I can see your face at the corner of my eye. I can tell if you met that guy, he would have been on the highway, right?
Yeah. Well, I would have been on the highway.
Wow. Woo. She's like, you know, we're going to turn to take the highway. He's going to disappear into the sunset.
Yes, in a bit.
Wow.
Skr.
Wow. It's lucky that scenario didn't happen though.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah.
And have a two lighties chat. Let us know what you think. We will see you next time.
See you soon.